What's up, everybody, and welcome to your favorite podcast, my favorite podcast, John's favorite podcast. I am stealing Mitchell's intro for this episode because this is, as I usually say, a very, very special episode.
Very special.
Very special because this is the Thanksgiving special.
So happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Hope you're enjoying it with you and yours because this year Thanksgiving's on a Thursday.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, so we don't have scheduled episodes to come out today. So I thought, well, let's just get ahead of the ball and, have an episode pre-recorded to drop on Thanksgiving. Here we are.
Definitely, yeah.
So if you don't know or haven't been tuned into the podcast for, a little bit of time, this is John Hendricks, who is one of my dearest friends. We have him on, how many times have you been on now?
I think this is number 4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a good number on the show. And I don't know how you're feeling about coming back, because you were just mentioning you feel like getting a little nervous every time you kind of come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel good today. It's more just like knowing what to say and what not to say.
Well, there's,
So
we were actually, it's funny you mentioned that. So this past week with, Cade and David were on.
Right.
Or no, I say this past week. This is the Thanksgiving episode. So Cade and David came on a little while ago.
Right.
And on the show, we were talking about how, you need to own up to everything you say. Or, maybe just say, I am not going to let what I say, kind of cripple me.
That's fair. Yeah.
And so that's what we kind of like to stand by on the show is we said it on the show, we believe it, and we're just going to stick to our guns with that.
There it is. Yeah.
So, yes.
All right. Well, I guess I'll be sticking to my guns.
Yeah, stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Don't back down. But we've got quite a few things we want to talk about today. And before we even get started, let's go ahead and crack these puppies open because you brought a special drink.
I sure did. Looking forward to this one.
What is this? So it says the handcrafted Atlanta Hard Cider Company. Do you have a little background about them?
No background. I just discovered it one day because I had it at a party and I was like, wow, this is really, really good.
Okay.
And ever since then, I've kind of dabbled into it here and there. But they came out with this flavor pretty recently and I fell in love. So
yeah,
this is now my go-to.
All right. Well, let's crack it open and see what we got. Oh, talk about ASMR.
Nice and crisp.
Dude, crispy sounding. Oh my gosh. All right.
Well,
dink
cheers.
it. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Ooh. Okay.
It's like apple and honey and everything great about fall.
That is delicious. Yeah, this is such an apt time to have this drink because it's such look at us. We're got to turn the product
placement
right there. If you don't know, we're on YouTube. Go check us out. You can see our ugly faces on there. This is a couple weeks in now when this episode is dropping, but we have a TikTok.
And it's a pretty good TikTok at that. Yeah.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. It's not that great, but
okay. It will be.
It will be. It'll get there. But go check it out. Go support it. It's where we post a lot of the clips along with Instagram as well. All of that should be linked over on mancardpodcast.com. But, dude, thank you for bringing these. This
Absolutely.
is delicious. It's gluten-free. So if you're health conscious, then...
But Noah and I like to share our love of whatever beverages we find. And I think we have a special bond.
Yeah.
Of a very a couple of very particular brands and
it's
types.
Usually drinks that you find and then share with me. But yeah, appreciate you lumping me in with the finding drink crowd. Because we up to this point have pretty much shared scofflaws.
Yeah.
And because everybody hates scofflaws.
They're all crazy.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's so good. And Scofflaw apparently also has beer too, if you didn't know.
They sure do.
Yeah. So we drink their seltzers, Scofflaw seltzers. So we like them. If you don't like them,
you're wrong.
You're wrong, but they're delicious and make me a little tipsy, which is great. Good feeling to have. So this episode obviously is the Thanksgiving episode. So, of course, we're going to touch on Thanksgiving. We're going to touch on all those great things. But before we get to it, I want to talk about holidays in general. Because, with... let it out. We don't cut anything out on the show.
Oh,
Now
all right. Sorry about that.
That is not a knock on how bad this drink is, I hope.
No, it was not. It was. I was starting to laugh at something you said. As per usual. And,
I'm sorry.
Here we are.
That's my bad. But yes, holidays in general, because I know Thanksgiving is great, but I want to just say, what is your favorite holiday? Because there's a lot to choose from out there. There's Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah, there's Independence Day, there's National Coming Out Day. I mean, what's your favorite?
Interesting. I would have to say, I think 4th of July is my favorite.
I love 4th of July.
As much of a patriot as I am, like I have to be in support of
Oh,
our
yeah.
independence, you know.
So what makes 4th of July special to you?
I don't know. I think it's just celebrating the mind my words, but best country in the world.
Oh, yep. Agree. Cheers to USA.
And I love the gathering of people celebrating like our community as a whole, and obviously fireworks.
Oh,
huge
definitely.
fan. So
Definitely.
I would say it's probably my favorite holiday.
That's a good one. You know what? Now that I think about it, like that's kind of the time when Ellie and I like started dating.
That's right. Yeah.
Was July 7th. So
there you go.
So July 4th was like we were together for then, and like it was really special. And so yeah, that I totally agree. That is a special holiday, and I feel really bad for the people out there who like have holidays and there's like something attached in their lives that's like a horrible experience around such like good holidays, because like people like Christmas especially,
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of things happen to people around Christmas. Because it's like end of the year or like, you know, horrible things. I don't even want to go into it because it's so sad. But my favorite holiday is Halloween.
Halloween.
I know. Call me a pagan, man, but I am a big fan of, and I'm a little partial because my birthday is October 29th.
Right.
So it's like right there next to it.
Yeah.
So ever since I was a little kid, it's been like
back to back,
yeah. Like birthday, then Halloween. And it's like always been so special to have like a birthday party and then like 2 days later candy and have fun, dress up with your friends.
Right.
But I think of it as a little bit more separated than that, because it's just a time when you can kind of like just go be with friends and like do something you never get to do. Because like every other holiday, you pretty much do the same thing.
It's the same kind of celebratory measures, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially like Christmas, Thanksgiving, they're pretty much the same celebration.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Of like, we get together, we eat turkey, it's like the same motions.
Definitely.
Obviously Christmas is like spectacular for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I just think Halloween is like so unique in that regard. But that's my favorite holiday. So let's jump right into, it's Thanksgiving. We're thankful. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving season? Because let's be honest, there are a lot of things to be thankful for.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this earlier too. Like, sometimes I'll complain about what I'm doing or what I'm not doing in my life, but then I think back, I'm like, wow, but truly I have an awesome life. And
yeah.
And there's no reason for me to feel the way that I do. I mean, I'm thankful for the opportunities I've had, career-wise,
Definitely.
friendship-wise. Like over the last two years of my life, like I've really kind of established and built the foundations of some really, really awesome friendships, including you. That's like truly
the
been,
gun under the table speaks volumes for that.
But truly, like it's been an awesome time in my life, and it's a period where like I think my younger self would have been happy to know that like I finally reached.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Thankful for my family and their support and every crazy stupid thing that I choose to do, which there's a good bit sometimes.
Oh no, of course. I think everybody has their like fair share of like crazy things they do. And there's just got to be like a level of like, you know what? John's just going to Europe next week.
I am going to Europe next week.
He is going to Europe next week. So at the time we're recording this, obviously this is before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Where are you spending Thanksgiving?
I will be in Paris, France.
France.
During Thanksgiving. Yep.
Dude, it's special, but also, do they celebrate Thanksgiving over there?
As far as I'm aware, no. So,
dude,
no turkey for John this year.
Interesting.
But I'll be making up for it in other ways.
Okay. So you'll be hanging out with all the Parisians.
Yeah, of course. Eating some of those good, what are they called? Baguettes, like the French bread.
What are they called? My guy goes to Publix and doesn't even know what baguettes are. Dude, so I'll tell you, one of my least favorite things about Paris is, and sorry, all the Parisians out there that don't listen to this podcast, but one of my least favorite things about Paris is they have pastries.
Pastries.
It's hard for me to even say the word. So when I was a Boy Scout, when I was younger, you were a Boy Scout too.
Yeah,
We went to Woodruff Scout Camp. I don't know if you went there when you were younger.
I did.
So we might have been there at the same time,
Possibly.
which would have been crazy.
Crazy.
But they had one of the last days when you go to leave, when you're packing out. They don't do the dining hall breakfast,
Right.
right? So they just have like carts of grab and go food, like
Right.
granola bars and pastries. So I, at that point in my life, my palate hadn't opened up yet. So I grabbed what I thought looked good, but it was
Yeah.
like one of those open top pastries with like cream on top. And it was like, oh man, there's like two types of cream, like it's like the frosting that's like not, it's like the butter, it's not buttercream frosting, it's the like cheese frosting.
Like the cream cheese frosting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So it's the cream cheese frosting on top of this like pastry, and I bit into it, and it made like the whole ride back. I wanted to just like throw up
Yikes.
everywhere.
Yikes.
So ever since then, I've not been able to eat cream cheese frosting, and
That bad.
I hate the word. Yeah, it's that bad. And the word pastry always gets me feeling some sort of way. So whenever anybody wants to get at me, and I'm putting this out in public because I'm trying to get over it, but
I'll remember that one now.
Yeah, so if
you
you
got it
want-
locked and loaded,
if you want to get at me with a word, pastry is the way to do it.
I know what I'm getting you for your next birthday.
Oh yeah,
A
the
nice
box
big,
of.
nice big box of pastries.
Oh yeah, that sounds so good. But that's my least favorite thing
Okay.
about Paris. But
Yeah.
I also haven't been. So my wife can speak French,
Right.
and she's been to France.
Yeah.
She's been to Nice in France. I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's like southern
Yep.
border. But she has a couple friends over there, and I think you've been trying to reach out to some of them and organize some plans.
I might be hanging out with some Parisians,
Some Parisian ladies.
some Parisian females. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. One of my favorite things about traveling is having the experience to meet new people and create those connections. I don't know. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, also, if you hear that in the background, we live in an apartment complex and car alarms go off constantly. So apologize for that. But, dude, I'm very excited for you to meet Ellie's French friends because I've met her French friends once when
Yeah.
they exchanged over to the U.S.
Oh, wow.
And it was like very brief. Like, of course, they speak, good English. And, I've said hi, obviously like, I'm Ellie's, person, whatever.
Right.
And then like that was kind of it. And they scurried off and did their own thing. But I would love to go to France and like with Ellie being the tour guide because she like not only can speak French, but like knows everything. Like that's all the places to go, not to go. Like,
Yeah.
and she can get plugged in with her friends too. And it's kind of like turns into New York.
Mm.
Like when you go to New York with friends that live in New York, they're like, oh, you got to go here and
Yeah.
not to Times Square.
Right.
Because Times Square blows. I mean, if you watch Friends at all, Chandler would be happy to tell you that he loves Times Square. but everybody else is like, that sucks.
As
Don't
somebody whose work is up there and has been to Times Square, not the biggest fan.
Yeah, I never understood people who stand out there. That's another holiday, New Year's Eve, and they
Cold.
stand out there like for hours and hours and hours, and just like wait. And people wear like adult diapers going to that thing because they're not gonna. They can't go to the back. They can't leave and come back.
They can't leave. Yeah.
There's millions of people packed in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm out, man.
Crazy.
That sucks. Okay, so I am thankful for this Thanksgiving family. For
Family.
one, because I've just formed a brand new extension of my family.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is going to be the first year that Ellie and I are in holy matrimony and living together for a Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which is like, for me, is really special. Because we were talking before this when we were at dinner. It's, oh, thank you, that car alarm. I was trying to keep talking because that car alarm is so awful.
I don't know. It sounded a lot like mine, so I'm a little concerned, but we're good.
No, you're so good. I promise. I think it's one down in that parking lot. That is down there. It's like every night it goes
Really?
off. Yeah, I'm telling you. I don't know. This guy has no control over his car.
Clearly, he has a Honda.
So it was actually one night. I think it was like a big Yukon, but yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
It sounds like kind of a wimpy horn for a Yukon.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but so this year is going to be the first year that Ellie and I are like together.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we can kind of now have like a say when it comes to
Right.
the holidays of like what we're going to do, what our plans are. And that's something we've really been looking forward to. And something I'm really thankful for is like, we're kind of at the big boy table now. You know, it's like we can kind of hang with the parents.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of being shoved at the little
It's got to
kids
be a good
table.
feeling.
No, it's a good feeling. You know, all of our parents like love us to death. And so like it really comes down to like everybody gets to come together and just hang out and be merry. Yeah. And so we're just excited for like when we end up having kids in the future, that it's going to be like my sister's going to have a family, Ellie's sister's going to have a family. We're all going to come together for the holidays.
A bunch of little rascals running around.
Yeah. Because think back when you were like young, right? And your family, I don't know if you did this, but like my family would get together, like extended family for like Christmas and Thanksgivings and stuff. And so it would be like my dad and his brother and sister and their families would come together. And then, you know, a couple of their parents, right, would come in and like hang out. And I said a couple of their parents. My dad's parents are divorced, so his mom would come. And then, like, I think my mom's mom would come as well. And so we would all just hang out, play hide and go seek in the dark. Like, dude, just like holiday
awesome.
antics.
Yeah.
Like, it was so great. And then I'm just thinking, like, that was so cool for me as a little kid and grew me so close to my parents and, like,
absolutely.
my family, that it was just like, wow, that's, like, so special.
Right.
So I'm excited to impart that onto the next generation of, like, my sister's family, Ellie's sister's family. Like, we're going to be the ones that come together
definitely
and do that. And Ellie's, like, really, really, really close with her cousins, too. So, like, we might even get her cousins, like... And then we get to call the shots. We're the adults.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we
sure.
get together and it's like, hey, parents, if you want to come.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're doing our thing. Right? So till then, we're obviously going to my parents, you know, and her parents and doing Thanksgiving. But I'm just thankful for it all, man. Like friends, family. Like, what's not to be excited for? You know, there's just so much possibility for the future.
Yeah.
Which is like...
It's a cool time of life. It's a cool season.
It's so cool.
Being at this, like... early mid-20s is it's eye-opening.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's weird. But
well, speaking about mid-20s, I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Because we are recording this in honor of your birthday tomorrow.
Talk about mid-20s, yeah.
Mid-20s, so you're turning 25.
25. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
For sure.
So like you're the quarter man, you are quarter century, quarter life crisis, like all
of the quarter
it.
life crises.
Yeah, everything is right now. So like looking back up to this point, how do you feel about where you are right now?
I think I'm right where I need to be.
Okay. That's a perfect answer.
Yeah, I think I'm right where I need to be. If I could like showcase like myself now to like my younger self, like say in high school or middle school or whatever.
Sure.
I think younger John would be really proud and really happy to know this is how he turns out.
Dude, that's sick. Because you're really only competing with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you were to tell my high school self, like, this is what I'd be doing, this is what I'm up to, like, this is these are my passions, this is the industry I work in, I'd be like, yeah, no way. No way. Right. Totally different person. Like, he's outgoing, he's loud, like, totally different guy. But so I'm really happy and proud of myself and like who I've become and who I've grown into.
Yeah.
It's been a really, really cool thing to like look back and kind of reminisce over.
Dude, that's sick.
And I've spent a lot of time recently doing that. I mean, 25 is a big number.
Yeah, huge.
That being said, there's a little bit of like anxiety here and there. Like, you're thinking, oh my gosh, like a quarter of my life just gone. Like,
yeah.
Probably more. Probably more. But like,
what's really like, if you think about the first part of your life, you know, time moves pretty slow.
Yeah.
In the beginning, right? Because it's like up to about, I mean, for me, I'm just speaking for me.
Yeah.
But till about like 11, 12, 13, nothing's really happening, right?
Not too much.
You're not really making many active decisions. You're not really like doing anything for real. Once you hit like the 15, 16, 17, then it's like
speeding up a little bit.
Then it starts speeding up. But once you get to 25, you realize you've only actually really done, I don't know, 10 years of things.
You're not wrong, and it's crazy to think about.
and then think about like the perspective you have on those quick 10 years that we just had. Just a quick little snapshot, and then you get another 20. You get another 10 and 5. Right, so like 10, 20. You get 25 more years of just like you're the guy. You're calling the shots. You're doing the thing.
Yeah.
So like that to me strikes me as something that's special because I'm only 24. I got one more year till I hit 25.
Yeah.
But like that strikes me as something that like when you turn 25, it's like realizing like, okay, cool, I'm old. But
Yep.
at the same time, it's like, okay, cool. I'm actually young because I've only really lived for 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's a good age to be at. Like, I don't know, you kind of touched on it. You have the freedom to, like, I don't know, carve your own path.
Definitely.
Do the things that you want, pursue the passions that you love, hang out with the people that you like.
Right.
Every choice kind of like just becomes your own, which is really interesting, because prior to that, like even in college, like not every decision's necessarily yours. Like you still have to like show up to class.
Sure.
You have to do this, that, the other.
Well, you definitely don't have to show up to class.
So yeah, you would know.
Yeah, I slept a little bit when I was ending that college career. I took a couple naps.
Which is another thing that I like to think about too. Like on the drive over here, I was thinking about like my time with you, my friendship with you, and it all started by just having, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 classes with you, like back to back to back to back for 2 years.
It's crazy how stupid that is. Like, why are we friends?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we had a class together. Like people who think like I had a class with somebody and they just never think of them again.
Yeah,
it's like what? Like why do we become friends? Like that's crazy.
Who knows? And I think the first class I ever had with you, I was like, this kid's annoying.
Really?
Yeah, it was a strategy class, an intro to strategy class.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Well, in your defense, you were the only one that would talk.
This is true.
And so I was like, this kid's just talking. Like, can we just like get through the class? But then like as it like kind of matured, I was like, he's actually adding some insightful information. I'm just being grumpy.
That was an interesting time for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you were a little grumpy old man.
I was a little grumpy
at that time, which is, hey, no shame, dude. No shame. I was I was probably speaking more than I should have.
Well, I think you're like, all right, the silence is killing me. Like we got to like spice things up. And that's just you.
That's just horribly dull.
Yeah.
For being such an interesting class.
For sure.
And I was like, man, you suck. Like, can you speak more about interesting issues? She ended up emailing me and Philip. If this is the class I'm thinking of, which I think it is, she emailed us and was like, hey, appreciate your insight into, all the different greater geopolitics that are going on in the world, but, let's focus on this class. And I'm like,
what?
Like, what are we doing? Like, why aren't we talking about all these other interesting topics that relate to global supply chain and strategy? But okay, so we've gotten through things we're thankful for, a little bit into looking to the future. But you're at 25, but what's next for the big John man? Do you have like plans, or like are you just kind of like letting life hit you?
So I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I had it all planned out.
When you graduated, you were pretty.
I had the life plan set ahead. I like this year I'm going to do this, to like prepare for this.
Definitely.
Whatever, XYZ. But as things have happened, I would argue that I'm much more open to winging everything in my life. Everything's just one big adventure, and just kind of taking it as it comes.
Yeah.
So to be totally honest, I haven't kind of reevaluated and kind of looked ahead, other than like knowing like, here are my passions, here's what I love, and like I want to pursue these things, and like put more emphasis of my life into the pursuing these passions.
Because you've always been into photography.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
as something you've like really cared about.
Definitely.
Because you invested in a camera, like when you got that first like big boy job bonus.
I sure did. Yep.
And so like I've seen you do that, and like you love it, dude. Like it really like gets you fired up for life.
Yeah, for sure.
In a way that I haven't seen from you in a minute. You know what I mean? Like the second you got that camera and you started firing away shots, like you'd be texting me like photos and like, hey, look at this, like this is so cool. And then like you came over and you did the trend with Ellie and I for the ghost TikTok trend.
That's right. Made you all famous.
Made Ellie famous for them. Yeah, for sure. But it's just fun to do.
Right. Definitely.
Like you don't have to be the person that's like, oh yeah, it's like I just, I don't really have any hobbies. Like you really have a good passion and you're good at taking photos. So
appreciate it.
I'm excited to see the photos out of this Europe trip.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely got some good ones out of my Greece trip that I got home a couple weeks ago from.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Incredible.
Okay, good.
So that one was also a last minute thing. As I said, kind of winging my way through life right now. I was up at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. And I was like, I'm a little sad right now. Like, what would make me feel better? Let me look at flights.
John in his feels.
Yeah. So open up Google Flights, immediately see a $300 round trip ticket to and from Athens. I'm like, all right, booked it right then.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So left 2 weeks later, had the best 12 days of my life.
Dude, nuts. Because I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn.
Sure.
But you might have met somebody over there that
I
of the opposing gender.
I met quite a few people.
Okay,
for sure.
We met a lot of people.
I met, which honestly is one huge thing in travel that I love. I love meeting new people that don't have the same background, don't have the same culture as me, because it's so interesting to hear the way they think about life from their perspective.
Sure. Yeah.
So when you go to a dinner and like then you go out drinking with like a bunch of Germans, some French, like some English, I guess British people. You got like Grecians, like everybody. It was so fun, and just like hearing their experiences and their background and their thoughts was amazing. And then being able to share my own, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird. Like, is that an American thing?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Because everybody always craps on Americans for like not having culture.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, I always think it's cool when you get to like I say you, but like people get the chance to go over to Europe.
Yeah.
And like go spend some time with people of like different ilks, different cultures, communities, nation states, whatever.
Definitely.
And then like the insight that you get to have of coming back to America, and you're like, wait a minute, like we actually kind of do have our own thing over here.
Oh, for sure.
We got our core values, and it's like it's really different. Like how would you think it's different like when you go over there versus like when people from there come over here? Like what do you think the biggest shock is like on the flip side?
On the flip side. Well, one thing that I've spoken a lot about, which is something that I actually like more about Europe. It seems like the people, like, and this is a very broad view, but it seems like the people in Europe, I guess, work to live, while a lot of people within like America or the United States live to work.
Oh,
and like I see that in my industry and my job, like where
definitely
where people are working, pulling like 70-hour work weeks and just working so hard, and to the point where it's like a bragging point. They're like, "Oh, how many hours did you work this week?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter.
Fewer
like,
than you.
Hopefully fewer. Like I don't want to work 70 hours.
That's a lot.
But it seems to me like a lot of Europeans, they work so that they can live, so they can enjoy life and go on little adventures and hang out with family and friends and whatever else.
I might have said the parable on the podcast before. It might have even been with you on the episode. Really? But it's the idea of there's you can put it in any culture, but there's like let's say there's a Spanish fisherman.
Yeah.
Right. And he's out fishing and he's catching fish, bringing it in, selling it at the market, and, going home to his family every night.
Yeah.
And a businessman comes to town, meets him, and he says, "What are you doing? Like these are some of the best fish in the world. Mm-hmm. You need to make a business." And the Spanish guy's like, "Well, what for?" And he's like, "Well, when you make the business, you can grow it to 2 or 3 outposts on the coast." Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, what for?" And the businessman goes on. He's like, "Well, once you have 3 or 4 installments, then you can franchise it out to other people, across Europe, and they can have their own fishing, things, and you would get royalties from that." Which is like, great business strat.
Right, absolutely.
And the fisherman says like, "Okay, for what? Like, what's next?" And the businessman goes, "Well, once you have all those different things, then you can, inevitably sell all of it, right, to a big business, get all the money and retire and spend time with your family." And the Spanish guy's like, "I'm doing that right now."
Yeah.
Right? I don't need to do anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we will send you right to the halftime show, and we will be right back after this.
Cheers.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Man Card Podcast Thanksgiving edition halftime episode. And since we cracked these beers open at the beginning, I just thought it would be apt to talk about holiday spices. I know we've talked about pumpkin spice in the past, but this is craft cider. So I know cider is like a big thing with the holidays, a big thing with Thanksgiving. How do you feel about, just regular cider, non-hard ciders at like the holiday punch bowls?
Oh, I love it. I love like that warm cider, like especially if you like been outside and you walk inside and you have the warm apple cider. I prefer that over like hot chocolate.
Yeah, because I've been a water guy since I was a young kid.
Yeah.
And so I've really never had anything like that. Mm-hmm. But what I love more than anything is the smell of it.
The smell.
Right. So it's like the
Wonderful.
smell of the cider like kind of hits your nose, and you're like, the turkey, the stuffing, the like
all comes together,
and you're like, "Oh yes, this is what the
holiday
is about.
It
is time. The time is nigh." Yeah, definitely. So I think with cider, it's less about like it and more about the feeling that you get from when you're a kid. And so like things that are impressed upon you as a child, I think like really affect your outlook on life later on,
No doubt.
which is very special. I don't know if you have any like memories from when you were a kid or like around the holidays, or like it doesn't even have to be Thanksgiving, but like things that happen that you remember of like, oh man, that like really like lights my fire for like when the holidays come around.
Yeah, definitely. Like if Thanksgiving in particular, like it throws me back to when I think I was 8 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
And we kind of had like a large extended family, like Thanksgiving family reunion.
Nice.
And I think that was one of the highlights of my childhood, to be
Dude.
honest. Like seeing all my cousins, seeing my favorite uncle, like seeing like all these people like who I don't get to see too often because they all live in Texas,
Right.
And I'm here in Georgia. But like to come back together and like as if nothing had ever happened, like there was no time between seeing everybody. It's a good memory for sure.
Well, it sounds like that like brought you together. You
Yeah.
know, it's like as a family kind of brought you back to your roots. You know what else can bring you together? ManCardPodcast.com. ManCardPodcast.com. We've got all the episodes on there for you. We got link to the merch, link to the YouTube. I think even at
TikTok?
I think at this point we might have it linked to TikTok.
There you go.
So go check it out. It's a great place, just one-stop shop for everything. And really, it'll bring you together in the Man Card Podcast community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it would be a shame if you didn't share this with other people. So definitely share it around. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to send you right back to the main part of the episode. See you in a second. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the main part of the Man Card Podcast episode. And we're going to jump right in. We're not going to waste any of your time. This is going to kind of be the fun half where we just talk about a bunch of random stuff. But we've got flannels next up on the topic sheet. As we see, if you're on YouTube, John right now is flexing on us with a fashionable Thanksgiving fall. Just tell us what you got on, my brother.
Obviously, I've got the good old fashioned flannel.
Oh yeah.
Clearly, that's the only thing you should be wearing in this season as a man.
Yeah, obviously me and my t-shirt, I'm not flexing on the season very well, unfortunately. This is why I brought you on. You need to teach me.
That's right.
Impart your ways, because Ellie bought me a flannel for my birthday, and I haven't worn it yet. You know what? I should have gone to put it on.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
I'm
I'm a warm guy though, so I would have probably been sweating through it.
Fair enough. I'm a pretty cold guy, so we're opposites there. But
yeah, if we meet in the middle, maybe we can like share it and make it like not warm or cold.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But
do you wear flannels like a lot, or is this just a strictly holiday thing? Like, how do you see that?
I mean, it's definitely reserved for the cooler months. There's definitely no wearing flannels during the summer.
Oh well, yeah. If you do, then
you're weird.
You're a little odd. I'll walk on the other side of the street.
Yeah. So no, I would argue that I wear them pretty consistently when it's cooler outside.
So here's my thought with flannels, right?
Sure.
So you wear flannels around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Girls get a lot of rap for stealing flannels from their significant others.
Not me.
Not you.
These are mine.
Well, yeah, to be determined. And then Christmas, of course, like flannels, turtlenecks. You know, kind of in the cold season,
Sure.
layers, right?
Yep, that's key.
When you hit January, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't notice very many flannels out after
Maybe
New Year's.
it's reached the point of being too cold. Like at this point, you're just bundled up with like the heavy
coats.
Like,
Okay,
that's it. Game over. Like
I guess it does get pretty because
little.
You've
chilly.
been in Georgia
Yeah.
for most of your life.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, so Georgia is weird when it comes to winters.
Yeah. It's
Like it'll jump from fall or autumn
right.
and go just like summer. It's like medium for like a couple days, and then it's
And just
frigid.
Freezing.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is unfortunate, but I still love the season changing. And we get to crack out our freaking flannels. And they look good. You know what? We need to do like a Man Card Podcast flannel.
You should.
That would be
That'd be
sick.
awesome. That'd be great.
That would be sick. You know what? Put it out there. Put it out there. If you want that, let us know. That would be a fun thing to do. So we mentioned earlier that you are right now, actually, as this podcast is dropping.
Yep.
Let's just put a little forecast. Like if we could predict tonight, like if you were to tune into the podcast tonight and we were going to say, John is doing X, how accurate would you think we could be if we just put out a prediction right now?
Knowing myself, I'm pretty sure it'd be fairly accurate.
Okay. What are you doing? What is John Hendricks in Paris on Thanksgiving doing right now?
Tell you what, I'll take a stab at it, then
Okay.
we'll hear what you think.
Okay.
But I would argue that right now I have just eaten a fantastic French dinner,
Ooh, oui.
and it's a Thursday night, so I don't know. I have this whole day off. So
Mhm.
I think I'm going to be spending this day adventuring, of course, seeing like the Eiffel Tower, going to the museums,
Definitely.
exploring like that like kind of main area of Paris. But I would say probably eating dinner, either hanging out with people that I've met, or I don't know, maybe winging it solo. Who knows?
Who knows?
But then clearly after it's all said and done, we're going to the bars.
Going to the bars.
We're
Going to
the
hang
bars.
out.
Yeah, we're gonna go find people. We're gonna go find cool people to go
Yeah.
hang out with and hear their stories, and then I don't know, exchange mine as well. So
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I can make a prediction of what you're doing right now, and I'm so curious. We're like trying to that's so Raven this shit. So if I can make a prediction, I think you spent the day like kind of what you're saying, like
Sure.
going around adventuring. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Kind of like Yes Theory style, like
Yeah.
walking around meeting some people. But I think you've met a person that you've enjoyed being around. Not like a girl, guy. I'm just saying like a person. Doesn't have to be either.
Sure.
It probably is one or the other, but you met them and you spent the majority of the day with that person, and entering to the evening time where it's dinner or right, you're spending a lot of your time talking with that person, like sitting down and like
I would say so.
and, like-
Yeah, that makes sense.
like finding a corner somewhere in Paris and like just having a conversation with somebody. Like
Yeah.
I can totally see you like peeling away the book and like saying like, all right, we're just gonna make this corner of Paris ours for the night and just have a conversation.
I have a feeling your depiction of my evening is going to be a little bit more accurate.
I don't know. We'll see. Listen,
know.
I want to see you come back to this video and comment what you're doing the second it
I
goes
love it.
live.
I love it. That'll be great.
I think that'll be a fun little experiment.
That'd be cool.
Dude, this is making me amped. I don't ever get to like do stuff like this and just throw stuff on the wall.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I think
One of the options is going to stick. I think
mean-
it's going to be yours, but
no. I think your art museum and like adventuring daytime prediction is spot on.
spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like Paris is just it's the city of lights. So like
You're not wrong.
once you hit the evening time, it's like you gotta go outside.
So, I guess to your point, and the reason I think you might be a little bit more on point is
we've opened John up enough to share.
I do have plans to meet somebody that I met in Greece.
Oh, see, Noah's right again.
No, it was right again. So I'll be meeting them. I'm not sure when or what our plan is.
Them, they? Is it
Her.
Her. Okay, okay.
I'll be meeting her in Paris, and I don't know what's going to happen. I have no expectations, but obviously I think we'll at least be grabbing dinner.
Oh,
At
sure.
the very least. So
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited because, like, Yes Theory has you watch Yes Theory on
yeah,
YouTube,
of course.
right?
Yeah,
I think they're awesome. They do some of the best little short documentaries of like
definitely.
little like corner of the world type stuff.
Yeah,
And I just think like your personality, your like drive to go and like just be out there, like you're already doing that. You know, for Yes Theory to do that, really they ripped John off. Like that's kind of
Come
like
on.
your shtick.
come on.
So I think, you know, if anything is to happen, I think you need to like do some kind of like vlog.
Maybe I should. I have all the gear for it.
You definitely do. I mean, don't like overdo it maybe, but like, you know, have your day, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe do a little vlog intermittently
Sure.
and then say like, hey, like Yes Theory, what's going on?
And even if it's just for like the memories too. Like I think
Definitely.
that's something that I could look back on and appreciate for years and years and years to come. So
That's what Ellie and I have started to do a lot lately.
Yeah.
Is like she'll go like just for us. Like she'll just be like, you know, she'll pull out her phone, pull out her camera, and like
Yeah.
go to take a picture of me or us doing something.
sure.
And when she's like, oh, it's just for us, and like I know it's like this is not being posted or anything. It's just like we are just taking a photo for us
No, I
later.
really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
really-
good way to keep memories. And we're so fortunate in like this day and age to have the opportunity to have this camera in our pocket
I
at
know,
all times.
all times.
You don't even need a nice one like
No.
what we're recording on now, but you can literally just whip out your smartphone and bam.
There it is.
Um,
Well, it's the saying goes, the best camera is the one you have on you.
I like that a lot. That might I got to write that one down.
Yeah.
I like that so much. That's
because it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
just as long as you're capturing the moment,
for sure.
right? I mean, think of it in terms of like a once in a lifetime kind of event.
Yeah.
Like the people in Tiananmen Square, right,
Right.
at the protests. It's like they're not scrambling to go get the most high quality cameras. Like that,
just
literally,
need to
what
take
they
the
have
photo.
with
Yeah.
them, they need to be capturing what's happening.
For sure.
And so it's like in moments like that, or like just things that are happening, it's like the best camera is the one you have on you.
I like
It's
that
like
a lot.
nobody is
Yeah.
judging your photo. Like when we look back on photos from World War II
Yeah.
or the Civil War or whatever, like we're not judging the photo on like, oh man,
But we appreciate that it exists.
yes,
Yeah.
its existence is
Yeah.
more important than anything. And that's the same thing with family photos. It's like you're not going to look back on your family photos and be like, oh man, that's a little underexposed, a little overexposed. You're not critiquing it like that. You're critiquing it in terms of it physically exists.
Yeah.
And so it's
No,
like your childhood.
you're so
is,
right.
Yeah, you're documented. Like your marriage, your the raising of your children. Like it's just these huge milestones are now like trapped and like locked in existence.
And I think it's really cool that we came up in the, I guess, the generation that has the ability to do that.
Because we were like born and raised on the transition period.
Absolutely.
Because you and I both remember VCRs.
Yep.
The like the first computers that you got in your house and like
Definitely.
and the cell phone that like your dad had. It's like the Palm Pilot.
Yep.
You know, every dad had that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, knowing, like thinking back, it's like that was that huge transition then. Like I wonder what the next big transition is going to be.
Crazy.
The metaverse.
The metaverse.
Dude, that is so odd to me.
Have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One?
Yes.
Just like that. It's going to be like that.
Dude,
Guaranteed.
Well, it's funny. So
One day.
I was talking, I can't remember if it was, I think it might have been on the podcast with Cade and David.
Yeah.
But we were talking about NFTs and how everybody's like crapping on them, and they're like, you can't
I don't
touch
know. It's
them.
making a lot of 17-year-olds a lot richer than me.
Richer, that's for sure. But like you can't touch it, you can't feel. It's like you can't really own it or whatever. Like it's just on the blockchain. And then I thought the other day, because I was of the same thought process. I'm
Sure.
like, oh, it doesn't really exist. You can own something that's an NFT in the metaverse, and now it's a fungible token.
Yep.
It ceases to exist in the fake world,
Right.
and it becomes real. Like Mitchell just bought a couple weeks ago. At this point,
That's right.
the Star Wars
The Art Wars release.
Art Wars
Yeah.
release of the helmets.
Yep.
You can, in the metaverse, and I'm just speaking now, this is just a theory.
Throw it on.
You can put it on your character in the
Amazing.
metaverse, right? You own it.
Yeah.
And then if somebody in the metaverse comes up to you and says, I really, really like that helmet, you can go, I'll sell it to you.
Sure.
And then just pass it to you in the metaverse.
How cool is that?
And have the exchange. And then I'm just saying that right there can get me on board with NFTs. Not like I'm going to be one who dives headfirst into the metaverse, but I just think that that's a cool like way to like make it tangible.
Definitely. It's a crazy concept, and I'm curious to see where they take that within our lifetime.
Yeah, it's going to be strange.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is an odd dude. Did you see his video of Sweet Baby Ray's?
I have not. No.
Okay, hold on. I'll pull it up.
Here we
So-
go.
so
Into the metaverse we
into the
go.
So this is, I guess I did plug my computer up for a reason. But so there's a video of Mark Zuckerberg out there, and he's Meta. Oh no. Sweet baby Ray's Mark Zuckerberg. See, it's the first thing that pops up. So it's this video. All right, here we go. I hope this is the collab. Yeah, it is. All right, here we go.
What are you guys making for dinner? Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue
Oh, dude.
sauce, I hope. Delicious.
Oh no.
But hopefully for Canadian Thanksgiving, you get to eat a lot of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. That is going on the ribs. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. just
Sweet Baby
Sweet
Ray's.
Baby Ray's is very good. Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh
Baby
no.
Ray's. We have just applied the Sweet,
Sweet
Baby,
Baby
Ray's.
Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's.
He has to be a robot.
He's gotta be.
No chance he's human.
Who does this?
She's waiting
Like,
for
even
her ribs.
Elon Musk
she
is
knows
like
what's coming,
more
and the
human
Sweet
than
Baby
this.
Ray's.
Oh yeah, no guarantee. Look at him. Look at what is he doing?
So that's
Sweet
That's
Baby
pretty
Ray's.
Why is he live streaming this? First of all, like this is not something like during a live stream,
Yeah,
you usually
that's
are doing
this is
something,
what
so you
Facebook
don't have to be
Live is
talking every
for, just
second.
hanging out while you're sitting in your backyard, waiting for your Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Obviously, they edited those like together, but like
Right.
the amount of times he said "Sweet Baby Ray's."
Check this out. This is yeah.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
we're looking pretty good on the
I
brisket.
just lost.
So yeah.
Bye guys.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's. And then in the metaverse announcement, he had Sweet Baby Ray's
No way.
on the shelf in the background. Okay, hold on. I have to pull up this photo.
Since when did all these billionaires know how to meme? I guess forever. I don't know.
Let's see. The metaverse announcement. Metaverse. Oh. Let's see if I can find it. Sweet Baby Ray's. Let's see images. Yeah, dude, look.
Oh my gosh.
It's on the shelf in the background.
Respect.
Oh,
Respect
like-
for taking it that far. I like it.
Like that's the thing is I'm a little concerned because I don't know if he's memeing.
He's got to be.
Okay,
to be,
I
has to be.
hope he is. Like I don't know if he's that self-aware though.
Robot error. Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's, Sweet Baby Ray's, Sweet Baby Ray's. Although I'm sure we aren't that much better with our craft cider. Craft cider.
Craft cider.
Mm. That's some good craft cider. Yeah, but that's like odd. Like he
Yeah.
was streaming this barbecue live.
Sweet Baby
Sweet
Ray's.
Baby Ray's.
Okay, all power to him though. Like, Sweet Baby Ray's is a good barbecue
Oh no,
sauce.
definitely good. I don't know if it's the best, but it's very good.
Good enough.
I don't know if it's
That
that good, but it's definitely
Good enough
good.
to be included in the metaverse release.
Yes, apparently. His non-fungible token is going to be
Sweet Baby Ray's.
It's one of one, and it's going to be just a Sweet Baby Ray digital. Here you go. Here's my Sweet Baby Ray's.
It's going to be worth millions.
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 Billions and billions of dollars. A small loan of $1 million, please. So you travel a lot.
I do. Or I try.
You
to.
try just
Yeah.
a little bit. So one thing that you have to do nowadays to travel is get vaccinated.
You sure do.
So you were telling me a little story. You didn't really go fully into it before we started, but you had gotten vaccinated,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because, you were in one of the risk groups of like, your doctor was like, you should probably get vaccinated. And so you did.
You see, the thing is, it was less for that and more for the fact that I just wanted,
You just
to, be
wanted to
able
travel. Okay. Whatever the reason is, you got vaccinated. So now, like, pretty much everywhere in Europe requires you to be vaccinated to go there.
Otherwise, it's very, very hard.
Very difficult.
Because I know in relation to my trip to France, if you're not vaccinated, you can only come if you have compelling evidence stating like why you need to be in France.
What?
You obviously have to take like COVID tests.
Yeah.
Before and after.
So some guy is just like, seeing the birth of your child.
Exactly. So you have to like write up a compelling argument as to why you need to enter the
What?
country. Yeah.
So you're basically doing a cover letter onto why you
Mm-hmm.
should potentially, if it is your home, return home.
right.
That's nuts.
Well, I think it's more for like
foreigners coming
coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, so for like a citizen of the United States to travel into France,
Gotcha.
They want compelling evidence as to why you need to be there or just be vaccinated. So
in. Gotcha. So it's super easy now for you.
it is.
So
Yeah.
like, what are the steps that you have to go through? Are there more steps now, or is it just like flash your card and you're good to go?
When I went to Greece, it was simply just showing the card and that was it.
Nice.
There was some instances while in country where, like, to get into a restaurant or a bar or whatever else, they'd be like, "Let's see your vaccine passport," is what they called it. And I'd just show them my card and
Sure.
be let in. But as far as France goes, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
From what I've kind of read up on. I mean, obviously, the EU is one, I guess, entity, but each country kind of has their own rules and regulations. So
yeah, of course. Yeah,
we'll find out.
I'm interested to see because like the Parisians have a lot of pride when it comes to their culture,
Right.
right? So the French are like, oh, we, the French,
Yeah.
we're the best, or
Definitely.
whatever. We're smoke our cigarettes and eat baguettes and cheese and like do our thing. Of course, that was the worst impersonation of a French person ever.
Yeah, a little bit.
But still, you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
absolutely.
So they have a lot of pride. So I'm interested to see if they like have more draconian rules
I guess we'll find out.
just based
Yeah.
on like the fact that they have a lot of pride in their country,
Right.
which is great. Hey, listen, being an American, I have a lot of pride in being an American, so no shame on having pride in your country for sure.
Definitely.
But I'm interested to see how that plays in. How
Yeah.
is it coming into the United States as somebody who's not a citizen, like somebody who's traveling on a visa or like?
I'm not sure, to be honest. That's not something I've looked into.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that is.
yeah.
Like, is it like as hard for us to go to other countries as it is for them to come here?
I'm sure it would depend on the country.
Yeah,
But
Yemen.
who knows? Yeah, I'm sure that's pretty difficult.
Yeah, little hard, but it's I think like European countries, they have like a little like, hey, I'll scratch your back, you'll
Sure.
scratch mine.
Yeah.
Also, I'm curious because like with the current administration we have now, like they're pretty they try to regain like I guess it would be like in the good graces with the European Union and all
Right.
of the European nations
Yeah.
to like make up for what they perceived as like the pitfalls of the previous administration.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, with that, it would be probably, in my mind, easier for them to come here than it would be for us to go there
Possibly. Yeah.
because of like ill will against like how that went down,
I mean,
potentially.
your logic is there. That's pretty sound to me. That would make sense.
I don't know. But listen, you're the world traveler, so you can report back.
I guess we'll
So
find out.
I
Yeah.
expect a compelling
I gotcha.
report when you come back
Definitely.
of why you should re-enter this podcast.
I'll just send you a postcard.
To me, a postcard with a little like information. Have you seen Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
So there's the beneath the stamp.
Mm-hmm.
There's the little like the dot,
The dot.
and it's like I want to get a postcard from you that just has like there's blank. It's just blank.
It's a dot.
It's like from like Paris, France. John. It's like cryptic, and then we pull back the edge of the freaking letter, and we're like, oh, that's secret information. And it's like, help! I'm being held in a Chinese fortune cooking making factory. Save me.
Please no.
Listen, with all of your like adventures and like antics and like all the things you do, dude, I would not be surprised if you're like, I get a call from you and you're like in the middle of Austria and you're like with the prince or something, and like you're like, hey man, guess where I am right now? And, like those calls, I guarantee they're coming because you're gonna be like,
We'll see. We'll see.
You're like, oh, I'm with the Prince of Wales right now.
After the adventures I had in Greece, at this point I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because that you've been talking up this chick for a minute. I'm not gonna let this die because you've been talking about this girl for like at least a few weeks now. So
She made a good impression.
She made a good impression.
She made a good impression. I was
know.
impressed. Yeah.
And obviously, you're a little tight-lipped, assuming that this podcast has more reach than it does.
We'll find out.
She does not listen to this podcast.
No, she does not. No, she does not.
She does not know it exists. Although I get a breakdown on Spotify of like who.
Well, if you see one from a specific country, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll definitely let you know because that means you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because she knows who you really are, which is a goober.
Yeah.
You're a fun guy.
I think she already realized that.
Yeah. Maybe that's why
So
she.
since you've already broken open the story, we had a really fun night in Athens, where
How romantic.
she definitely saw me being a goober. Yeah,
Dude, that's fun.
for sure.
Dude, I love it when like you can be your true self
Yeah.
with people that you meet, even if it's like this girl turns into just a friend, which is fine.
Yeah, totally happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, sure, I believe you. But like you just being your true self with friends. And that's why like you and me and like all the guys that we have, all the groomsmen and like an extended group.
Definitely.
Like, I just think it's really important to like just be your true self.
Yeah.
And like hold each other accountable, feet to the fire of like, why are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? And that's like Philip and me, when we were like in college and we were like, John, you were like, go to the hospital, dude. Like, what are you doing? And you're like, yeah, I probably should. And so having friends, it pays off. It
does.
can sometimes
It does.
save your life from having hemoglobin levels that are of deathly level.
Yeah,
But
don't do that. It's not
yes. Dude, thank you for coming on the show.
fun. Absolutely.
I know that this has become a reoccurring thing because you are kind of like our travel correspondent
There we go.
of the world.
I like it. I'll
So
start bringing you guys more and more stories as I start to compile them. Because
please do.
going into the new year, obviously 24 was a crazy year for me, but
Yeah.
if you thought 24 was crazy, 25 is about to like blow your mind.
All right. We put it out there.
I have a lot of plans.
Yeah, bring back some photos. We can like do some live reacts to like
Sure, that'd be
you
amazing.
showing us crazy things that
Yeah.
you've gotten into.
Definitely, that'd be
Dude,
cool.
well, thanks for coming on, and thanks to everybody out there for listening to this little special installment we did Thanksgiving Day. I hope you're enjoying turkey with your family, having craft cider and Sweet Baby Ray's with all of
Sweet
those who you
Baby
love.
Rays.
So good. Check us out, mancardpodcast.com, mancardpod@gmail.com, and Mancard Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Check us out, and we will see you tomorrow.
Have a good Thanksgiving.